Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to go over the rant of the week from earlier this week about scalpers. Um, Looks like I got 14 likes and 1 dislike. I'll take those odds any day. Alright, so let's see. First comment, we got Sammy. I used to have to turn to scalpers for Marvel Legends, but I hated to have to do that. I hated to have to, but I ain't ever version of the. But I want. I think he's meant I want every version of the figures. Back and even nobody gets the full wave of figures. I did end up with almost every figure I wanted except Forge. Is the only figure I missed out of. I wanted so I stopped collecting Marvel Legends. I only collect Transformers, Masters of the Universe, and Star Wars Black Series. Marvel Legends. I used to be so big on Marvel Legends. I mean, we drove all across the state looking for Marvel Legends, and there was never a time where I sat there and was like, man, this is too much money. Because when I was collecting Marvel Legends, that was when I still say to this day, when I was collecting back when they were first coming out, the first few, couple years of it, I still say that was the best time to be in that collection. I remember the figures being about $8, and you get the full figure like you do now. Most of the time it was a unique sculpt for the figure, not recycled pieces. And a lot of times they came with the build a figure parts and comic books. So you get kind of a little background, like I'm trying to think of there was the Onslaught series where you pick Sentinel series. That was probably one of my favorite ones, and a lot of people's favorite ones, where you built a Sentinel, and it wasn't like how they are now, where it's like, okay, you just built another figure. It was like you built a massive Sentinel, and it was just like, like the arm that came with so and so was like twice the size of the figure. So it's like that time was such a great time to be in that be collecting those kind of figures. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm a huge Marvel fan. DC hadn't quite picked up yet at that point with their collector figures. There was a few here and there, but most of the time it was just, okay, this is Batman number 422 and Superman number 7000. It's like, come on, give me some fucking villains. But yeah, Marvel Legends, they would do like full waves of villains. And I had so much fun with it. I had every Marvel Legends figure. And I remember back in the day, it's like, oh man, I have to spend $50 for a figure. It's like now it's like Transformers, like, yeah, I'm spending $200-$300 on a figure. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So yeah, I remember the scalpers with the Marvel Legends figures. I never actually gave into them, with the exception of Juggernaut, because. In Apocalypse, I couldn't find Juggernaut or Apocalypse in stores anywhere, and I searched everywhere. Other than that, I mean, I was able to hunt down the new waves. I know they're doing it more in the line of, okay, we're gonna release build a figure with right arm for this character, and you could also buy this character, get the right arm of the figure, but it's gonna be harder to track this figure down. I don't like that. I don't. I can understand, variants of figures. Like I did try look everywhere for Green Goblin without a mask. And I also was looking for the Moon Knight Silver Edition, because, in case you guys didn't know, Moon Knight's my favorite superhero. That is Moon Knight. The inside sleeve of Divided They Fall. Great one-shot comic. So anyway, sorry, went off on a rant because I saw Marvel Legends. I miss those days. I really do. There's always that part of me that wants to get back into Marvel Legends, but right now them being $20 a piece. They only come with like one part, and it's for a regular size figure, and no more comics. Um, it gets me to the point of I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to invest that much money into this. If they're still $10, yeah, oh hell yeah. And Sammy, if you are still looking for the Forge figure, let me know. Send me an email. There is a comic book store in my area, and by in my area, I live in the mountains, so there is nothing in my area. So in my area is about an hour drive. Anyway, which is nothing for us mountain folks. But there's a comic book store not too far away, and they have shelves and shelves and shelves of Marvel Legends, all the way back to Wave 1. The original Wave 1, before they were Hasbro and they were Toy Biz. Toy Biz. I miss Toy Biz. Ugh. What happened to them? I know they sold the rights to Hasbro, and it never was the same after that. It never was the same. Alright. I've been tempted to get Star Wars Black Series, to be honest. But one, the only figure I can find anywhere on the Black Series is, I think there's a Luke Skywalker, and I want to say like Han Solo in the Hoth uniform. I'm not 100%, but it's always the same figures. There's two figures, and that's it. And it's like, if I found a Darth Vader sitting there, I might pick it up. I don't even know enough to say, yeah, there's a Darth Vader out, but I don't know. It's what I was like. I'm kind of tempted. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Much bigger Transformer and Marvel, and so I'd be more inclined to pick up something like that than the Black Series. Anyway, the Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I had some as a kid, but they never hit home enough for me to. Just make sure the mic is on. They never hit home enough for me to sit there and be like, you know what? I need to do these. I need to collect these figures. And it's like, never, except for maybe Skeletor. But that's only because he's awesome. He looks awesome anyway. So yeah. Let's see. The pickle system. Scalpers are really just the scum of the Transformer community. They just make it harder for actual fans to collect great figures and are opportunist jerks. I agree. I fully agree on that. Like I said, I mean, there's a difference between knowing what a figure's worth and creating an ability to buy a figure from the fandom, because everybody buys all of them and then sits on them for a while and then sells them for an insane amount of price. Seeing Funny John. Oh, come on, I'm a scalper. I scalp people all day. It's for the greater good. No one really needs their hair, right? All right. Yeah, nobody needs hair. Aunt Booth says, yeah, you should see all them jackasses on eBay trying to sell a Combiner Wars Motormaster for crying out loud. That's the reason I gave up on him, because I knew he ain't worth $40 to $60 range. If you think them scalpers are horrible in the TF world, you should see the scalpers for retro Jordans. I guess in the end all we can do is just not buy from them and hope they return them back, which I doubt it. Motormaster's getting reissued next wave, just in case anybody's wondering, because the next Voyager wave will have the new White Optimus Prime and Motormaster. So for anybody that's missed out on Motormaster, he's still coming. And I'm pretty sure I've seen a few up here still sitting on shelves. In Colorado, things shelf warm for long fucking time sometimes. And it's just like, oh my god. Figures that was like, were so hard sought after, like Rat Trap. I think everybody's got Rat Trap on their shelf now, but it's like, I found Universe Galvatron like 6 years later. He says, scalpers are virgins who live with their parents, play Warcraft or Dragon Age for hours on the computer, have no job, stay at toy stores or comic shops for hours on end. Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. I think a lot of scalpers are opportunistic. and they only know enough about the community to know which ones are worth money. I don't think they're actually collectors. I don't think they're really into the hobby. I think they're specifically doing it just to get the quick buck. That's my opinion. Nick Sandwich Game says, I recently bought a Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus from someone who bought about 7 of them in stores. But the only reason I'm okay with it is because he sold them for $40 shipped. That's a pretty good price. Cheaper than anywhere online and cheaper than retail pickup. These guys are super helpful. Yes, I agree. If I ever, I know, a long time ago I went to a store and I found piles of the Transformer Prime Viacons and first edition figures for like $7-8. So I bought a whole bunch of them and started saying, telling people like, hey, buy them from me. I'll sell them to you at cost. So it was like, ended up being like $5 cheaper for most people. But let's see. But true scalpers, screw them. Simple as that. They will make a figure impossible to find, such as the Toys R Us, Masterpiece Soundwave, Generations Metroplex, MP Optimus, and the list goes on. True. They find those high-end items and they're gone. They are gone so fast. Selling them for double or triple the price. People who do that suck, and I don't bother with them, so this can stop. I don't bother with them, so this can stop someday. Even though it never will. If a figure is gone from the face of the planet, the only advice I can give you is just wait. Those figures will be sold for normal price or even lower. I got the MP Soundwave for barely over $100, Metroplex for the same price, and even TFC Hercules for almost half the price of its original retail price. Just have to have patience and wait it out. I agree to that, and I also will mention that it's like almost any figure that you're like dying to get and must have and so hard to find, just wait. Something else will come along. Somebody will make another figure because it's like Fans Toys Dinobots, yeah, they're good. I think they're now 4 into the line, and 3 into the line, and I'm behind, so that's going to take me $600 to catch up. Or I can go with Giga Power, and there's only 1 out, and pick them up as they come out, kind of thing. It's like if you miss one, you can find more. I just pre-ordered. Randy Book says I just pre-ordered from. Those people aren't going to get. I just pre-ordered now. Those people aren't going to get me. I missed the thrill of the hunt though. But at the end of the day, it's the fault of the collectors. We make these fuckheads. Yeah, we do. We create the demand, and some of us are willing to pay for that demand, and it all depends on the character too. Because while it's not truly a scalper, let's talk Hasbro for a minute. Hasbro and Takara. In particular, the MP11 mold. Because here we have Sunstorm. Toys R Us Sunstorm, and he was, $80? Something like that in the stores? If you buy him, $80. But then you get into the, the Skywarp figure, which is sitting in the post office, and I can't get it because it's a holiday weekend. Anyway, but the Skywarp, there's nothing different about the Skywarp as this mold. They are identical in every way, just different paint job. But Takara's selling it for over twice the price of this. Why? Because we're going to buy it. I bought it because I'm a completionist. If say Takara or Hasbro did an MP Soundwave, for example, and I missed out on it and it's now selling for $300 like Quake Wave, I would probably buy an official MP Soundwave at that price. I wouldn't do it for almost any other character, but certain characters I would. Yeah, I definitely would. Alright. Get Loose 360 says you summed it up quite well. No way am I paying quadruple or more for a common Hasbro figure. No. Admittedly, I paid over $200 for MP Prime because I was impatient and cracked almost after a year without a reissue. Lo and behold, Takara and Hasbro reissues the figures in the $150 range. Yeah, I did that too. Don't worry, I did it too. I just spent 180 on mine for the newest reissue, and then they reissued the Takara version. And it's like, I think mine was the Hasbro version, and it's like, oh, that's awesome. And then they reissued the Takara version. And I was like, I kind of wanted the Takara version, not the Hasbro version. So if anybody's got the Takara version of the MP10 and you want to trade it for the Hasbro version, let me know. I got him. He's out of box, but I got all the packaging and stuff. And I do have the Key Vector Sigma, just not the cardboard case for it. In case anybody's interested. Okay. Sometimes you need to get burned in order to learn. If you're patient, you can and will find a good deal. Well, over $200 for an MP10 is still, I'd say, a pretty good price. I'd say up to about $250. That's what that figure's worth, because it is that good. Mirage X1007 says scalpers are scalpers. That's just how it is. Same with ammo. Okay. What do you do? Whine and cry about it, be upset, but that's how it is. It does suck, but it's their right, I guess. People have the choice to buy or not to buy. I'm finding it much easier to just order online, pre-order, keep up with the online news. This is the route I pretty much switched to this year since Combiner Wars came out. I missed the chase, but tired of it. Wasting time and gas. Easier and cheaper in most cases just to order them. If you do buy, especially on eBay, you can always leave negative feedback. Of course, for a legit reason, if it comes damaged, slow, or what have you. I broke down and bought Hotspot on eBay for $29 total. Figuring he's paying shipping and the fees, brings it down to what it would be in stores or even online. Always consider fees and shipping with eBays and such. Not much profit there, I'm guessing. Now, that's a good example of somebody selling it for, how much they probably bought it for plus shipping. Yeah, and their fees. What I'm talking about is, for example, Transformers Prime Breakdown. There's a figure that was $50 when it came out. And that was a Takara imported figure, imported fees on online stores. All these people scalped them up because they knew that we weren't going to get a Hasbro version, and they sat on them for a little while. Now they're going for like $150. Look at Orion's not a very good example because I think we set the prices on that. But like Leader Megatron. When that was first coming out, they were all over eBay for $75 to $100 a piece, and people were paying that because they're like, "Oh, we're not going to get them." Now, by the way, I have shelves of Megatrons. I think I said this already, but there's piles of them at my stores. And yeah, it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it, but that's the point of Rant of the Week, is we get to rant about stupid shit. Six Thought Changer Reviews says, can't stand scalpers. We ought to identify them when we see them selling, and then have a blacklist that we can add them to. That would help to eradicate them. If only a large portion of the collector demographic adheres to shunning those on the blacklist, it would hurt them a lot. I agree, but at the same time, like I said, there's that point of where there is slight usefulness to them, because they can kind of help us out with certain figures. Yeah, we have to pay a premium price, but for the most part, I'd say always wait. If you're impatient, then you're gonna end up going to a scalper, but most of the time we'll get a new one or a Takara version. Transformers 758 says, funny thing here is Giant is less than double the price of a Hasbro figure, €200 for Devastator. And $380 for Giant, even without scalpers. Anyway, nothing for scalpers to get here. Rarely get past wave 1 in stores. Only place I get better stuff is online or in comic shops. But it's annoying when you can't find a figure that should be there. But it's either that or not getting those figures in stores in the first place, it seems. So because you said €200, I'm going to go ahead and say you're probably from Europe, and I've heard that you guys get fucked with figures. I'm sorry. I know Australia is the same thing with their import fees and stuff. It gets to the point where it's just insane. I know when I was dealing with Warhammer figures a long time ago, Warhammer on average is double the price, and they're insanely expensive as it is. But on average, they're about double the price in Australia, and that sucks because it's just a little figure, and you're spending like $50, $60 for something like this big. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. So yeah, I feel bad for people in Europe and Australia and I think Italy absolutely blows to get anything shipped to you. So yeah, I feel bad for those guys. I shipped to Germany one time, and the package came back to me, and it looks like somebody had opened it. It really sucked because I sold this guy some MP Seekers, and I took so much time and care to pack these things. But it came back to me, and it's clear somebody opened it up because they had a new tape on it that said "Open for Customs." I opened it up, and it clearly looked like there was a boot print on the bubble pad, smashing the figures. And I'm like, I don't know how I get on these topics, but anyway, but yeah, I hear it just absolutely sucks. So I would say in your case, buy Giant. You'll be much happier. I really am not holding my breath on this Hasbro Devastator. Rat Trap Chatter 25 says, good point. Thanks for the point to look out for on eBay. Okay. And that's it. Yeah. Not the most time consuming rant of the week one. I've got another one prepared, or I'm going to be shooting it here in a couple minutes. And it's going to be an interesting topic, and it's going to be a hard topic for me to talk about because there's certain things that I'm not allowed to talk about. I'll explain that in my next rant of the week, and I hope it helps a lot of people out. But anyway, all right, this is fun. I'm still enjoying this, and I'm really enjoying this raffle thing.